All right, we're back here on the Blazers Uprise Postgame show presented by BetUS. If you're watching this back after the fact, our first 30 minutes lagged out, so this is part 2, so you can go back and rewatch part 1. It's the live stream right before this. But yeah, this is part 2. We're back. Trying to stream on a little different stream setting. Hopefully it won't lag out, but internet's been rough lately. I'm going to try and figure it out tomorrow because this is brutal and this is frustrating, man. Very frustrating. I hate lagging out. It's the worst feeling. A midpoint, I'm cooking, and then I look at my YouTube feed and it says no data. Stream might end soon. It's the worst feeling in the world. So, fingers crossed. Internet, be with us. Don't leave us. Anyway, we were talking about Thibault. I kind of wrapped up my point on Thibault right when we lagged out. Talked about Scoot. Did you want to say anything else with Thibault, Eric?
Yeah, I do think he could be effective on some teams like this Minnesota team we saw tonight. I think there are some teams that could use what he does effectively. I don't think it's the Blazers, and especially if we're going to try to make the Scoot and pretty sharp thing work, unless one or two of those guys become an above-average defender on the perimeter. I just don't see how it can work with a gambler type defender on this particular team. We need more solid, fundamental, never leave your post type players, in my opinion.
Yep, fully agree. Before we move on to the rest of the post-game show, if we do lag out, I think we're just going to call it a wraps. But I'm streaming on a different setting, so hopefully it should be fine. And then we'll have another post-game show and a live stream on our second channel on Thursday, 2 streams before the All-Star break. And then the next stream after that will be Blazers Uprise Live the Monday after the All-Star game. Since there's no games that day, we'll do it at 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., the same time we normally do it in the off-season. So that's what's on tap. Also, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this post-game show. The All-Star break is coming up. You can get in on the action. For all the All-Star contests, the best way to make those contests fun is to give yourself somebody to root for by placing a line on them over on BetUS. Make sure you use our link in the description box below and use promo code JOIN125 for 3 deposit matches worth 125% of your deposit. 125% deposit bonus that BetUS is offering you. Not 1, not 2, but 3 deposits worth. So, shout out to them for sponsoring the post-game stream. Make sure to get in on that All-Star action. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching Dame in the 3-point contest. I'm looking forward to watching the dunk contest to see if that is Mac McClung's to lose or if Obi Toppin's brother Jacob Toppin will win. You got Jaylen Brown, Jaime Jaquez. There's the big names, but those guys are underdogs over on BetUS, so it's going to be interesting to watch all that go down. And also, maybe on Thursday we'll take a look at Daytona 500 odds, Eric, because that's coming up, That's I'm a NASCAR fan, so I'm looking forward to that.
Taylor Packer asks, how long is the All-Star break? The Blazers, if you're asking specifically for them, it's 8 days. I think some teams only have 7 days off, but the Blazers have 8 days, so we play Thursday and then don't play again until the following Friday. A nice little break for them.
Yeah, that's 7 days off. That's 7 days off. I'm looking at my calendar. Yeah, so we are one of
Friday's 8 days.
No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we play Friday. So 7 off days.
But it's 8 days in between games, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if we played a back-to-back, you wouldn't say it's 1 day in between. Okay, never mind. Anyway, yeah, we play the 15th and then the 23rd. We are one of 2 teams playing on Thursday, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Yep. And shout out to your internet for being the Kyle Shanahan of internet. When the bright lights come on, it wilts under the the lights. And
did you come up with that, or did somebody else?
No, I just came up with that.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking about it.
Man, okay. Well, now I'm sad again. Yeah, for real.
I just joke when I can't deal with the pain. So.
Anyway, I don't want to think about anything regarding football. We're talking about basketball here on this post-game stream. Yeah, how many games do we have on Thursday? 3 games on Thursday. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games tomorrow. We didn't do any picks against the spread the last 2 Blazers Uprise days, and then we only have 3 games on Thursday, which is kind of unfortunate. But, yeah, anyway. Ayton in this game, great, Eric, 11 for 12 against a big front court, too. Very impressive. He impressed me.
Yeah.
He's been playing good lately. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought he held his own. Obviously, Rudy Gobert had a good game as well. But I really liked one play in particular, and I'm going to continue to mention this every time I see it. He had a play where he normally this season would turn around and do a fadeaway jump shot, but he took it strong right into the chest of the defender. I think it was Gobert, and laid it in off the glass. Very impressive, strong finish. And I want him to do that every time. And then also love it when he gets the ball on the short roll and just goes straight down the lane and dunks it. And I haven't seen anyone stop that yet when he decides he's going to dunk it,
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if he only does it when he thinks he has a lane, which might be why it doesn't get stopped. But if he has that attacking mindset, I think he could start drawing some fouls, getting into the line, and becoming even more dominant than he has been lately. And so, yeah, I'd like to see him continue to attack the basket.
100%. I mean, his attitude has been better just in terms of how hard he's rolling to the rim. He caught a lob from Delano Banton, which was a really good pass by him. We'll talk about him in a second.
In traffic, yeah.
In traffic, too. Dunked it hard. Like, that's what you want to see. Effort has been a little bit more consistent. So, yeah, with him, man, had some struggles for the most part this entire season. But as of the last, 2 to 3 weeks, ever since Taylor Packer quit on him after defending him all season, right when Taylor Packer quit on him, then he starts playing well. Which is hilarious.
I mean, it was hard to defend him when he makes the comments and.
Oh yeah, now all of a sudden, so he makes those comments and then all of a sudden he plays like he has something to prove after he basically says he doesn't. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand him, but as long as he's playing like this, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, this is what we were looking for. This is what I was looking for when I was criticizing him. Like, he would have a game where he's 5 for 10 for 10 points, and people were like, oh, that's a good game for him. You're being too hard on him for criticizing it. It's like, man, the standard is really that low? Like, I felt like at a certain point this season, the bar got lowered for his production so much that it actually got kind of silly. Like, this dude is capable. And a lot of the criticism of him earlier in the season was because this dude is truly capable. And I think he's showing you right now that he is truly capable, because 11 for 12 against Rudy Gobert. I mean, come on, man. Impressive. In 32 minutes, 22 points, 16 rebounds as well. You love to see it. So he's playing well. His front court
all three of the guards are doing a great job of finding him, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it, too, is got to get the guards feeding him. Some of that is chemistry, but some of that is him rolling hard. So he's barely played with Delano Banton, but he found him perfectly on that lob. So it's easier to find a big man who's rolling hard to the rim than somebody who just kind of floats behind the pick and roll coverage around the mid-range. So I love what Ayton's been doing lately. His front court mate, Jeremy Grant, 5 for 17, 2 for 7 from 3. He struggled. What's impressive about this game is Grant struggled, Simon struggled, no Brogdon, but the Blazers were competitive in it. Like, that's good, man. That's good.
I mean, if you look at their starting lineup, they had Gobert and Anthony Edwards, and they got nothing from Cat, nothing from McDaniels. I think was Ofer, right?
Yeah.
And then
I thought we contested his shots pretty well, though.
Yeah. Who was their other starter? I think it was like 2
Mike
for
Conley.
7 or something.
Yeah, Mike
Like,
Conley, 2 for 7.
he wasn't good either. And then, yeah, their bench, I mean, Naz Reid was okay, 4 for 8, but didn't have huge impact on this game. So it was really just Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the fourth quarter hitting those 4 straight threes. And then, just Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards. So they kind of matched some of our duds with some of their duds. We just didn't have anyone that did what Anthony Edwards did tonight.
Yeah. No, I agree. But still, you'd expect the number 1 team in the West to be able to make do, especially when you got Anthony Edwards playing like that against a Blazer team with no Brogdon, Grant, Simon struggling shooting from the field. Still putting up 109 on the board is pretty impressive, and that's because of Ayton and the way guys were finding Ayton. That's because of Scoot's passing, and Scoot 4 for 9, including a heave. Banton 4 for 8, 7 for 10 from the free throw line. Like you had some guys step up and be efficient that you wouldn't trust as much as Grant or Simons to be efficient. Tamani Kamara 5 for 7, 2 for 2 from 3, efficient. So all those guys efficient. That's why the Blazers were in this game. And it's almost a little easier to feel good about the Blazers being competitive when Grant and Simons is struggling compared to just Grant and Simons carrying them.
Yeah, agreed.
But Grant tonight just struggled, man. I think both he and Simons struggled with the length. I think Simons especially. Simons was 2 for 9 inside the arc. Grant was 3 for 10. So those guys combined 5 for 19 inside the arc, which is really bad.
Yeah. Yep. And Anthony, I forget if Grant was in the game at the time, but Anthony wasn't in there for the beginning of when the Timberwolves broke the game open. They tried to put him back in and get the starting lineup back in, but that was they just couldn't stop Anthony Edwards and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So it's a shame the game got out of control because it would have been cool to see this one come down to the end, but I just don't think they had enough firepower in this one compared to what the Timberwolves had.
Yeah. I want to talk about Kamara a little bit. So in the last 4 games, he's made 6 threes. Made a 3 in every game. Was 2 for 3 last game at Denver. 1 for 1 against Detroit. 1 for 3 against New Orleans. 2 for 2 tonight. That's a good sign because in the 11 games prior to the stretch, he only made 1 3. 1 3. He was 1 for... Let me do the math. 1 for 10 in the 11 games before this. So it's really nice to see him start to knock down threes. His shot's looking a little smoother, a little more confident. 6 for 9 in the last 4 games. So hopefully this is him turning a corner, not just an outlier, because we've seen him have stretches where he shot well, where he's been able to knock down some threes. He had a 3-game stretch where he was like 0-4 in the middle game, but the first and third game was 3 for 4 and then 3 for 3 from 3. It seems like he's very inconsistent on like a week-to-week basis, and you know who that reminds me of? That reminds me a little bit of Nasir Little. So hopefully it's not quite to that extent. Hopefully he can find some consistency. I'll live with it because he's a rookie, but that's the goal for him. Be a little bit more consistent shooting the ball from week to week, because he'll have stretches where he's like fine shooting the ball, and then he'll have stretches where he literally can't buy a 3.
Yeah, although it's a super small sample size. Good to see him shooting with confidence, but it's still like 1 or 2 misses is the difference between looking really impressive and still looking bad. So, but yeah, it's good to see him actually knock down some.
Yeah, I'll take 2 for 2.
Yeah,
almost a whole month, this man. 1 made 3. That was bad. That was brutal. And you can see him lose confidence. So that's the good thing about like knocking down a couple of these shots, though, Eric, is like it gives him confidence. He needed to see a couple shots go in. He needed to have a stretch where he had back-to-back games making some threes, 4 straight games making some threes, because I think for him it's just confidence. When he has confidence, he looks okay shooting the ball, but he loses confidence a little too easily. That's just my guess at it. and that could explain why he's so inconsistent on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, so ideally, what's your starting lineup rest of the season?
I mean, Jabari lately I don't think has played too well, so he doesn't start today. Instead, they start Kamara, which was interesting because the Timberwolves are a bigger team, so it would make a little bit more sense to play like Grant at the 3, Jabari at the 4, but they go a little smaller. I don't. Jabari's not taller than Tamani, I don't think, but Jabari plays bigger. You know what I mean? He's more of a power forward. Tamani is a little bit more of a small forward. Tamani is not the rebounder that Jabari Walker is. So it was interesting to see them go with that lineup change in this game. For the rest of the season, like, I mean, I would love to start Scoot, but you still got Brogdon, so it's hard to even answer that. But, you keep Simons, you keep Ayton, you keep Grant in the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes down to Tamani versus Jabari. I think I would go with Tamani unless he starts struggling, mightily shooting the ball. Like, see if he's ready to shoot the ball consistently, because he shot it well the last 4 games.
Yeah, I think the difference between Jabari and Tamani for me is Tamani's been pressuring full court, trying to slow down the other team's best player. And Jabari's obviously more of an inside defender that can switch a little bit, but he's not going to be like full court pressing defense on a ball handler, So I think I'd rather have the Tamani thing, but he's got to make an impact too. He can't just be a liability out there, which he hasn't been lately. So yeah, as long as he continues to be somewhat okay on the offensive end, I think it's Tamani for me. Despite how much I like Jabari. And yeah, I would do Scoot, Anthony, Tamani, Grant, and Ayton.
Yeah.
If it was up to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. It's not funny. That's not what I want to say. It's a lot of his points tonight came in garbage time. He had 7 or 9 of his 14 points in garbage time, but still, that's a 3-minute span that hopefully builds his confidence. Yeah, I don't know. I asked a chat poll because I was curious to see what they would say. 58% are going Jabari Walker. Only 13 votes, though. It's pretty even. So let us know in chat who you would start and why. But yeah, I'd probably go with Tamani and hope that he can consistently shoot the ball, because that's the key for both these guys, Eric. Whichever one shoots the ball better is the better option.
Right. If one of them started becoming a consistent three-point shooter, they'd easily separate themselves from the other one. But I don't think that's happening this season, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's just funny because, Delano Banton's a guard, but Delano Banton is kind of the same way, and he goes 1 for 2 from 3 today. Made a wide-open 3. His shot doesn't look too bad, but has struggled with his shot during his NBA career. He was good, though. I mean, had a rough start to this game, but after that, outside of the 4 turnovers in 26 minutes, he had 3 assists, 5 boards, 16 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 7 for 10 from the free throw line, got to the free throw line. Like, he's just an interesting player because he does not play quick at all. He's tall, can handle, kind of slippery in a way. Not quick, but slippery. Just finds ways to get into the paint despite not being the quickest guy. That end one where he just drove through the chest of Alexander Walker and finished was impressive because he doesn't look like the strongest guy, but I don't know, he kind of plays a little stronger than he appears. I like that. I love that lob he threw to Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him maybe play a little bit more next to Ayton, see if you can develop some sort of pick-and-roll chemistry there. It's a little easier for Banton to throw that lob over the top because he's taller. It's a little easier for him to see it, a little easier for him to get the ball to him. I just need to see more Banton, more sample size. He struggled in Boston this year, didn't get much of an opportunity, so giving him more opportunity could be the thing that he needs. I just want to see, I don't know, man, guys like this, if they shoot the ball well the next 10 games in a Blazer uniform, everybody will be excited. Shoot, I'll be excited. But how much stock can you put in that compared to the rest of his career? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of sitting here like, how much sample size do I need to make a full judgment on him? I don't know. But it's nice to see him like play solid in a game like this.
Yeah, to me, obviously, if he shoots poorly, that's not good because he shot poorly most of his career. So if you can't at least have a hot stretch that you can get excited about, that won't be a good thing. But as long as he's respectable shooting wise, I think he just needs to show that he can be kind of a perimeter defender that we've been lacking, and use that length to bother other teams. If he can do that, then maybe there's a role for him. His contract, we have options like pretty much a minimum next year. So, yeah, I don't think it's like that far out of the realm of possibility that he does some nice things other than scoring. The thing is, though, like if Scoot and Anthony are playing, I don't know if there's much of an opportunity for him to be on the ball, and I don't really like him off the ball that much. So maybe he could impress with some cutting or something, attacking closeouts, things like that. But yeah, I don't know what he can do either, really, to satisfy the small sample size is what it'll be the rest of the season.
Yeah. You need larger sample size, so that's what we'll wait on.
But I mean, there's also a reason why he didn't stick in Toronto or Boston so far. Yeah. Like it's not like, I don't know. I'm not expecting him to be some like starting level player that we just happen to get for a protected second round pick.
Yeah, you know what the thing is with him is he has skill and size, right? Can defend a little bit. It's just, what is his offensive role? Because on a good team, you're expecting him to play off the ball. Like, on a good team, you got good players that you're going to give the ball to. You're not going to give it to Delano Banton. So then it's, how does he fit off them, right? And the problem is he struggled with his three-point shot, so he's not really a spot-up guy. You can kind of leave him on the three-point line, pack the paint on guys like Jason Tatum earlier this season. And it basically leaves him with a lack of an offensive role because he's better with the ball in his hands than without it. So how do you utilize him on a winning team? On a team like this that doesn't, we're not a winning team, we're not a contending team. He gets more on-ball reps and he's going to have some impressive moments, some impressive games even. But that's the thing with him is can he find a role, likely an off-ball role, that works on a winning team? I don't know. If he can improve his three-point shot, then it's easier because he can play on and off the ball. Then he can play off of stars. Then he can attack closeouts. You kick the ball out to him. Then he can attack closeouts, make a play once he gets into the lane. Then it opens up his whole game. But there's a reason why three-point shooting has become such an important aspect to so many different prospects. Three-point shooting not only helps him play off the ball, but it helps him attack when the ball gets swung to him, because it will be a little easier to beat defenders off the dribble. They'll close out, they'll play a little tighter, etc. So that's the main thing for him, just like it was for Scoot, just like it is for a number of young players, being able to knock down that shot. Until he does so, it's hard to envision him on a good team with any sort of role.
Yeah, exactly. And the other problem is we have way too many people we're worried about being shooting liabilities. We just talked about Jabari and Tamani and Thibault earlier in the stream, or the other stream or whatever. And yeah, Ayton's not spacing the floor by shooting threes. Scoot, we hope, is better than, or this, since he came back. If you take out the small sample size at the beginning of the year, we hope that's more closer to what he'll be his career, and that'll be fine. But it's too many players that you're worried about their shooting when a team like the Blazers right now is desperate for shooting. So yeah, unless he's become something he hasn't been in his career, I just think it's really tough when you're counting on like 5 or 6 guys to all of a sudden become respectable three-point shooters. Now a couple of them might, and you might be fine, but it's just weird because we don't really have players outside of, the dependable ones like Grant and Simons that were like, okay, those guys are consistently good.
Yeah, 100%. And that's part of the reason why we talked about it in part one of this postgame show. Thibault, I don't think he has a role on this team next year. I'd much rather have that role filled by a shooter. We need shooting.
Yeah.
And, that Warriors pick, the closer it gets to the mid-teens, if the Warriors are in the playoffs, the more I want Dalton Connect with that pick, Eric. Because that's my guy.
Jermaine says Scoot is terrible at shooting threes, 31%. That's technically true, but what Torrey always brings up is that if you take out the first few games of the season before he got hurt, since he came back from injury, it's, 35 something? What did you say?
Yeah, it's over 35%. It was 35.5%, I believe, and he's 1 for 2 today. The only miss was like a full court heave. He's been shooting the ball at like 35, 36% since he started wearing contacts.
It just looks so much more comfortable, too.
Yeah. So I think Jermaine's a Heat fan. Jermaine, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think Jermaine's a Heat fan, Eric, based on earlier comments. So that would explain it, because Heat fans, for whatever reason, hate Scoot. Doesn't really make sense to me. But you got like the Jaime Jaquez Twitter accounts that just roast Scoot constantly. It's very strange. I don't get it. But is what it is with their fan base, I guess. You want to do Tinkathon?
Yeah. Well, congrats on beating the Bucks tonight.
Yeah, congrats. Let's do Tinkathon. Since we brought up prospects, let's make sure we get this in today. Let me make sure I can set up your webcam, which isn't showing up for some reason. The freaking soundboard played right when I switched it over.
Dang it, I always miss it. Crap.
It just randomly played both the hyped reaction and the no reaction. That was very random. Huh. Anyway, here's the tank picture. We are still comfortably with fifth best odds. Charlotte's won 2 games in a row, Eric, which means we're only 3 games back on 4th best odds.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hopefully Charlotte keeps winning more games. And hopefully we keep losing more games. Are we at that point?
I don't think we're trying to be at that point.
We as in the Blazers, or we as in us?
I mean, I'm at that point. I would love for them to have competitive games the rest of the season, but lose pretty much all of them. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the Blazers are thinking of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. But Memphis has lost 9 in a row. So, with all their injuries, they're going to be a team that's going to be hard to beat out unless we truthfully tank. Like, if we played Memphis tomorrow, I fully trust that Portland would win. Even without Brogdon. So...
We got Minnesota again before the All-Star break, and then there's a break. We have the several days off, so.
And then we come out of that break, we play Denver, and then do you know who we play after that?
Memphis?
Nope, Charlotte.
I was thinking that's what you were setting me up for.
Nope. Nope, Charlotte. So nice. Losing that game, that's at home on February 25th. That game's going to be very important to lose if you want to catch Charlotte in the tank race. Mm-hmm. That might be the first game of the year where we're truly rooting for tanking.
Yeah.
Because if Charlotte can win, another game between now and then, our 2 games are against Minnesota and Denver, we'll probably lose both. Then you're looking at that game being only 2 games out from Charlotte, where if they beat us, we're only 1 game out. Yeah. And that's a big bump in odds. Your top 4 percentage chance go up 6%. Your number 1 pick chances go up by 2%. So, not a huge difference for the number 1 overall pick, but top 4 it is for sure. So that matters, man. That matters. Right now, Golden State's pick only a game out of 14th, only a game and a. Well, I guess it's not a game and a half because these are Eastern Conference teams. The 8th seed right now is Sacramento. They are 3 games out from being not in the lottery. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, even if Orlando and Miami had worse records, being in 7th and 8th in the East, Golden State's pick would still be here because this is for teams that don't make the playoffs. But, I mean, they'd be in a playing spot right now, and the way they're looking, they've won 5 in a row. I don't know.
Nurk and Dre are talking crap to each other on Twitter and podcasts and stuff.
What a 9-10 play-in that would be, though. Lakers versus Warriors? Interesting.
Didn't that happen a couple years ago?
I thought it was
that one of the first play-ins?
No, I thought that was Memphis and Golden State.
Well, I think didn't they win?
Oh, that was 7-8, huh?
Yeah,
I forget. Chat correct. Let us know. We rely on you.
Max said yes. The first ever play-in was Lakers Warriors, and then I think the Warriors won, but then they lost to the Grizzlies for the 8th seed. Yeah. Really? Or they lost and then lost again to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, because that was the year the Lakers were the 7th seed and faced the Suns.
And that's the year they had the 14th pick and the 7th pick, but the 7th pick was Minnesota's, I believe, and the 14th pick was theirs.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I remember them losing to Memphis, but that was the second playing game because they lost to the Lakers.
True, Connor. The first ever play-in was technically us and the Grizzlies and the Bucks.
And we won it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That was a bubble rule, but I guess, yeah.
We own the play-in forever. That's why we're trying to make the play-in. Because we own it. Yeah, so Golden State, they got a game and a half. They're a game and a half better than Utah and Chicago. Utah traded players away. Houston won recently, so they're... Man, I miss when they were like a game away from Atlanta. This 5-game winning streak has been brutal. But low odds at losing the pick at least, and you could get a player there. You're just out of the range for Salon or I don't know. Salon, I see like on Tankathon, he's mocked kind of in this range, but he's definitely going top 10, I think, Eric.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he doesn't shoot up there. Workouts.
Yeah. So, let's simulate the lottery. Let's scroll up. Let's wish for good luck. At 14 is the Pelicans via the Lakers. At 13 is the Blazers via Golden State. At 12 is Chicago. At 11 is... God, scroll up. Utah via OKC. At 10 is... No, it's OKC via Utah. And then at 10 is OKC via Houston. All these freaking trades, man.
10th and 11th.
Yep. For OKC, man. Wild. At 9 is Atlanta. At 8 is Houston via Brooklyn. So for once, Houston doesn't move up, because Houston's always moving up with either their own pick or the pick Brooklyn owes them. At 7 is the San Antonio Spurs via Toronto Raptors. So far, so good. This is just like last year.
Best case scenario for San Antonio there.
Yep, absolutely. At 6 is Memphis. This is literally exactly like last year.
Nothing's happened till we get to the 5th pick, and we know that...
I clicked simulate, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, if we're at 5, I don't know, because it's very unlikely we're at 5.
Well, it's like a 1 out of 5 chance. Out of the teams remaining.
The teams remaining, yeah. I'm just talking about, in general, isn't it only like a 2% chance we're...
Yeah, but like at this point it'd be... Yeah. At 5 is Charlotte, moving down a spot. So we want to beat Charlotte on the 25th, I guess, because they moved down a spot, which means Portland is top 4 with San Antonio, Detroit, and Washington.
As we found out last year, none of that matters.
Yeah, true. At 4 is Portland. We move up 1 spot.
That'd be so disappointing. Goes to commercial for the top 4, and then
and then we're 4. This is such a boring sim. At 3 is San Antonio. At 2 is Washington. And at 1 is Detroit. Okay, I'm just gonna say Tankathon glitched because oh my god, that was the most boring simulation in Tankathon history. I swear. What is that?
Only Charlotte and I flip flop. Charlotte and us flip flop.
Yeah, ridiculous. Ridiculous. The website glitched, guys. At 14, Pelicans via Lakers. At 13, Portland via Golden State. At 12, Chicago. At 11, OKC. At 10, OKC. At 9, Atlanta. At 8, Houston. Are we going to do this again? At 7 is San Antonio. At 6 is San Antonio again, which means Portland moves up. This is the chaos we wanted. This is what we were asking for. Yeah, 6 and 7. All right, and then at number, let's see here, 5, you got Washington. So at 4, you got Detroit. At 3, you got Charlotte. At 2, you got Memphis, and at 1, you got your Portland Trailblazers.
It feels kind of dirty, but
I know. I'm not going to play the soundbite. But this gives us something to talk about. So you take Alex Sarr.
Alex Sarr, you are a Portland Trailblazer. Let's go.
So you take Sarr at 1.
Hell yeah.
And then at 13, who on the board are you taking? What do you do then?
I think I'm trying to. Well, I mean, right now it's really up in the air because we don't know what players are going to be where. But I'm trying to go up to get one of the 3 players we talked about last stream, and that's Ricochet, Cody Williams, or Dejan Salon.
That's where it'd be nice to have this pick, Eric. Everybody didn't want another first-round pick, but man, if you had 13 and 19, maybe you could get into 9.
It's worthless in this draft, man.
Yeah. I just think it'd be tough if OKC's really sitting here at 10 and 11. I feel like they're going to go after Salon.
As I'm saying, like, you'd have to find a way to trade.
I could see them going after Cody Williams and just pairing him with his brother too.
Yeah.
Like,
but they're
like
not
San Antonio was
get
at
either
6.
Those guys at 10, I don't think.
Yeah. In that sim, San Antonio was 6 and 7, and then OKC was 10 and 11. Yeah. I feel like it'd be tough to move up. I'd feel like you get Sarr. I mean, Eric, like, if Connect's there at 13, I think we just take Connect, man. Like, out of everybody on this list, okay, let's just go, like, let's say Chomchi doesn't declare. Because honestly, at 13, I'm cool with just trusting you and saying Chomchi.
Dude,
but
Chomchi and Sarr would be ridiculous.
Your dream, yeah. But, like, let's just say no Chomchi. Out of who's available at 13, who are you taking right now? You said Collier, right?
I think Collier is being severely underrated. So I would consider him. Obviously, if Dillingham fell to 13, take him in a second. I don't think that's going to happen. We got Sarr, so that kind of eliminates the... I mean, if we were going to reach a few spots on one of the centers, I mean, maybe might be kind of intriguing to have like a Khalil Ware paired with Sarr.
See, like, I'm out on Filipowski, but like Sarr is the best big to pair next to him, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not. Filipowski is the type of guy I would take maybe if we had that other pick and it, he fell to 18, 20 or whatever. Like, yeah. But yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Would you be okay with Connect there?
I mean, right now it's hard to see that because I don't know if he's... I mean, if he gets buzzed, then that's his range. like, yeah, I'd be fine with it. But
I mean, but here's the thing: like, we're not gonna have any definitive ranges in this draft. I don't think, anyways.
no, I know.
But like, I mean, he's maybe the most impactful college player in this entire draft.
Yeah, I might try to trade down though. Try to still get him.
I just feel like why even risk it? You're probably not gonna get too much more because of how even these guys are. And then it's like, if he's gone, what you could like Ryan Dunn or guards or like Tyler Smith. I don't know. It's like for me, if you get Sar, that's such a huge defensive piece that I'm a little bit more okay with going with Connect, because that's the one thing is like he has defensive question marks. But it's like we just talked about it, needs shooting. I mean, there's your shooting. With like, I think Collier's being slept on too, but you know he's struggled shooting the ball. If you take Ryan Dunn, he's like literally a non-shooter. 24% from three. Like, Sar, we have hope he can shoot, but he's 28% from three, and we'd probably start him at the 4 with Grant at the 3. So I feel like at this point it's okay to draft for need, and they would need shooting more than anything.
Yeah.
The other guy that's a shooter is like Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at like boards though. I mean, take Chomsky out of it. That's still at 13. That means one of Castle, Shepard, Ricochet, Toppich, Holland, Bazelis, Jacoby Walter, Isaiah Collier, Cody Williams, Robert Dillingham, Tejan Salon, and we already took Alex Sarr.
That's 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you flipped Collier with Filipowski here, then
yeah, if one of those teams, takes Filipowski or Ware or one like you're getting one of those guys still. I don't know if I like Connect, but I don't know if I'm taking him over anyone in my top 12.
It's just funny how the conversation changed, It's just funny how the conversation changes over the course of the year regarding draft. It's such a hard thing to figure out sitting here with the 13th pick in a range where not too high on a lot of guys. And, man, Collier I trust to pan out. Like, I think he has a lot of upside. I just...
If Connect is like, if he measures at least 6'5" with decent length and stuff, and I don't know, I think it might be pretty good.
Yeah.
How is he 20? Is he gonna be 23?
Yeah, but I don't care.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. I think so. I think he's 23. Yeah. Let me check.
Will be by the next season, I think.
23 on draft night, yeah. But man, he's a sniper.
Yeah. Yep. And he hits him on the run, hits him with defenders in his face. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I have a problem with that at all. I think that's...
Let's ask chat. Who would you take at 14, chat? What options should we give him? Isaiah Collier. Dalton Connect.
I think people want Tyler Smith on there. I saw in chat.
Tyler Smith. And what other name do you want on the poll, chat? Type it in the chat. Next name I see that's like a legitimate name, I will put there. Filipowski? Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, wait. Colonel Pancakes, who said if Chomsky doesn't declare, which might happen.
Why did I type Ryan Filipowski? It's Kyle Filipowski. What am I doing? All right.
Man, Chomsky and Sar. Oh my god. Or Chomsky and Salon. I'd be in heaven, man.
We got a lot of Tyler. Well, I say a lot, but it's like 3 people. We got some Tyler Smith love, man. Would we need Tyler Smith if we got Sar and Ayton and Grant though? Like,
Well, hopefully we're trading one of those.
yeah, I mean, still though, like, you got a bunch of power forwards already. I don't know. You already got Jabari. You already got Chris Murray. Like, you got Sar who can play center, Ayton that can play center, Robert Williams that can play center, Duaparith that can play center.
But if
Grant
Connect is like sharp size, these.
I mean, I think Connect's he's definitely at least 6'5". He's definitely at least 6'5" without shoes. I think he might be a legitimate 6'6".
I mean, Sharp. Everyone thought Sharp was too, and then he measured like 6'4.5".
Yeah, but he was playing against high schoolers.
Yeah.
He's like Connect just looks 6'6" to me, man. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way he jumps. Like, he can jump a bit, but like, my whole thing is, if you have Sar, it makes it easier to get away with playing Connect or Sharp at the 3. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's how I view it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have such tough decisions to make, man. This organization is going to have such tough decisions to make. It's going to be fascinating. This is where, like, everybody's checked out, and, you know, we were frustrated at the deadline. But now this is where we start to get very intrigued by what's next, you know? Like,
Hey, at least we have contracts to trade this summer.
yeah, we got contracts to trade. We're going to have to trade one of them because we're going to be in the tax, so that's a storyline. These 2 picks, you got the early seconds. The draft's on 2 separate days, so we're going to have 2 separate streams. Or do we just do a 24-hour live stream?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I plan on doing like 3 videos in between those days. But we can still live stream. I just go make videos, and then Rich hops on by himself and gets the channel demonetized, and then we come back to a demonetized channel.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to go to work. You could watch me work while
Eric work stream in the morning. Oh, man. But then I feel like nobody would watch back a 27-hour stream, so yeah. That would be fun, but probably not in the cards.
we spend like a half an hour on 50 different prospects in the second round. In between the 2 drafts.
If we just watch film on them. Yeah. Yeah, that part's going to be interesting. So, yeah, I'll probably do a, first round recap on each prospect we draft in the first round, then like a second round preview, which is going to be strange to do like a second round preview. But it'll make it easier to like deal with the graphics though. And then they're expanding the amount of time between second round picks from like 2 to 4 minutes. So it's going to be easier to like do the stream.
I just hope they actually tell us what's going on with trades this year. It's so frustrating.
Rich asks, and what exactly would I do to get you demonetized? Probably just tell one of your many Hollywood stories.
Usually keeps it clean.
I'm just teasing him. You know the one I'm thinking of. You know the one I'm thinking of. I think he's told you. It involved a car. Let's just say that. Anyway. Chat is very divided They got 29% Tyler Smith, 29% Kyle Filipowski.
Ew.
Hey, I respect chat for making up their own mind, because that is definitely not influenced by us at all. Yeah, they just want to run an all-center lineup with Duop at point, Kyle Filipowski at 2, Alex Sarr at 3, DeAndre Ayton at the 4, and Robert Williams at the 5.
Yeah.
And then just switch everything. And see how good that lineup can defend. Like, honestly, if we were like this bad next year with like all those guys healthy, I would want to just randomly throw out that 5-man lineup just to see how bad it is. Or if it can like defend at like an elite level, just because there's so much length that you then just switch.
I think Sarr's the point.
Yeah, Filipowski can dribble a little bit too.
Yeah. Thoughts on
Ayton probably would play
Whiteside's retirement? Happy retirement.
Happy retirement.
He's going to move out of the country to Hawaii.
Yeah, and buy some horses. Anyway, final poll results. 29% wins it out of 4 options. 29% say Tyler Smith, 26% Kyle Filipowski, 23% Dalton Connect, 20% Isaiah Collier. And if you're watching the stream and you haven't started drafting prospects yet and don't know who we're talking about, you're running out of time. March Madness starts in a month, so you better get to it. Anyway, that concludes Tankathon.
It's a Hassan Whiteside joke, huh? What? My wife looked at me like I was stupid when I said the Hawaii joke, but it's not my joke.
I forget the... Oh, yeah, moving out of the country or whatever it was. Yeah. Funny joke. All right.
You idiot. Hawaii's America.
Let's tend to some sponsorship obligations with BetUS. So, Eric, I just went to their website. I don't know how this is going to make you feel, but I want your thoughts on it. I want your thoughts.
Are you going to do next year's Super Bowl odds? I already know Niners are number 1.
This stream is sponsored by BetUS. You can receive 3 125% bonuses by using our link to sign up in the promo code JOIN125. JOIN125 for 3 bonuses.
I was sitting there like an hour before the game talking myself out of betting on the Chiefs just to emotionally hedge my bet, and then also wanted to bet. I just had this funny feeling, Jawan Jennings anytime touchdown. And I was like, oh man, no, I'm just not going to waste my money or whatever. Like,
You should have done it.
I know I should have. BetUS would have.
Yeah. I told people I am cursed. I'm 0-6 in championship games. When my teams make the Final Four, I've never won a championship. 14 of my teams have made the Final Four. The Niners 7 times in the last 12 years haven't won a Super Bowl. And I told people on one of these ad reads, I said, you know what? You could probably make a lot of money because the Niners were favored. I said, you could probably make a lot of money if you just realize that I'm cursed and the Chiefs will win, and you bet on the Chiefs. I wasn't going to speak it into existence that the Chiefs were going to win. So, I kind of tried not to negatively jinx the Niners by speaking the Chiefs into existence, but I did an ad read telling people, 125% deposit match. So that's extra money on top of it. You get in on the Chiefs, given my sports curse, and they were underdogs. You could make a lot of money off my misery. I wonder if anybody did it. Chat, did any of you profit off my misery? Hopefully, somebody won off my misery.
Rich says he did.
Shout out to Rich for profiting. As long as you use BetUS, then I allow you to profit off my misery. You can profit off my misery again because the Niners are Super Bowl favorites next year, Eric.
Yeah, I'm never trusting them again to win. I don't trust Kyle. I don't think he should be fired or anything, but everything lined up perfect for them this year. I mean, once they got there, the Drake Greenlaw thing didn't go perfectly or whatever, but
Yeah.
but like I don't know, the chances McCaffrey and everyone are healthy again in that position. Trent Williams, all that stuff. Like we have a lot of injury prone players, so um, it takes a lot of things to break right to get to that point. And so now that they've gotten there a couple times in the last few years and had a double digit lead in both of them and couldn't hold on, I can't do it.
Yeah. You know what?
I can't believe anymore.
I actually think they're going to be back on the Super Bowl next year.
But
Do I think they're going to win it? Hell no. But I have a feeling they're going to be back.
honest question, I know the Bills did it, but when was the last time a team lost the Super Bowl and then we're back the next year?
When was the last time a team won a Super Bowl and then won it again? You know?
It was 20 years ago, but
Yeah,
I'm just
you know,
saying, it's
But the
it's
NFC's
pretty
weak.
bad with. I know, but it's pretty bad with. The NFC was weak this year, and the Eagles fell off the face of the earth at the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I think Sirianni is a fraud of a coach. Like, their offensive system's a joke, you know? Like, they got some issues. Like, this team is still super talented. Just gut feeling, I think they're going to be back in the Super Bowl next year. And then when that happens, I'm going to bet on the other team. I'm done being miserable. I might as well profit off my own misery, you know? So hopefully Chat did, or somebody out there watching the show profited off of my curse, because I'm 0-6 in championships. I still, I approached them beating the Lions like it was a championship, and I was very, it kind of felt like a championship in a way. So I'm just going to say I got the feeling, because that's why I got to sell for. But, yeah, Super Bowl 2025 winner. You can get plus 600 on the Chiefs right now, which will, with a 125% deposit match, right? So if you deposit $100, that becomes $225. $225 plus 600. That's $1,350 with a $100 deposit. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl next year, you could win $1,350 off a $100 deposit with the BetUS deal. I mean, pretty dang good to me, because for some reason Patrick Mahomes has voodoo magic on his side. But let's take a look at All-Star lines once again. Me and Eric have already made our... Actually, no. We've already made our picks for that. Maybe we'll look at it on Thursday. But Western Conference winner, this is what I want to see. Eric, who's the favorite right now in the Western Conference? Right now, the Denver Nuggets at plus 225. The Los Angeles Clippers right behind them at plus 250. And then you got a sharp drop-off. The team that we saw tonight, Minnesota, number one in the West, plus 900. Plus 900.
Pretty
So you can,
juicy.
yeah, that's pretty juicy too.
What are the Blazers?
They're not on here. They are not on here. Houston is plus 25,000 and Utah is too. And then that's the bottom two teams. But like, yeah, I mean, basically a $100 deposit on the Timberwolves, you could make $2,000 with a 125% deposit match. So pretty sweet deal at BetUS. You could, since they're offering 3 deposit matches 125%, you could triple up with like Kansas City, Minnesota, and then baseball season is about to start soon. And I mean, gives you some rooting interests. We'll see if we have any Timberwolves fans at the end of the year. But OKC's plus 900 too. Like, both those teams have a legitimate chance to make the finals. Plus 900 are pretty good odds. Even the Suns down here. Oh, the Suns are plus 700. Okay. I thought the Suns were plus 2,200, I was going to say. But plus 700 for the Suns. They made some upgrades. They got Royce O'Neal, Thaddeus Young out of the buyout market. So the West is going to be a lot of fun, though. The West is going to be wide open. The Warriors, with how they've been playing, plus 3,300. Like, that's not a bad long shot. They've done it before. So, I mean, I would not hesitate to take plus 3,300 on Golden State right now with how they're looking, with how Kuminga's looking. Man.
Yeah.
So, anyway, if you guys want to get in on this Western Conference action, make sure you use that link, promo code JOIN125. If you had to pick any of these lines right now, who would you pick, Eric?
Well, the two favorites are who I think have the best shot, but yeah, I just throw some money on Minnesota. I also like the Warriors, like you said. Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah, I'd throw some money on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Could you imagine we have their pick and it's like looking good for the majority of the year and then they're in the finals? But I mean, maybe it's a Heat type run.
Yeah.
Where their pick is still like 16. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they're going to win the West, but plus 3,300 is way too good. And then the Eastern Conference, I think, will be more straightforward. Yeah, Boston plus 130. That's almost even money. The next team is Milwaukee plus 245. Dame's been struggling lately. The Knicks are plus 700. Cavs are plus 900. Philadelphia, if they get Embiid back, plus 1,200, I think is pretty good odds. They do it every freaking year, but I don't trust them. But if they did it again, that's plus 1,800. Which lines do you like here? Who would you take?
Well, I don't like the low money on it, but I still think that Giannis and Dame are going to be tough to beat in 7 games, just with how much they can score. So I probably just take the Bucks. But in terms of value, Philly and the Heat are the best value. Maybe the Cavs.
Yeah. With Philly, does Embiid come back? That's the question. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't hesitate and just take Boston. Like, I think the Eastern Conference has gotten better, but Boston with Drew is just better, man. Like, they are perfectly constructed, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis. Like, that team is just matchup problems on both ends of the floor. Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyway. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring Postgame Stream. Remember, promo code JOIN12543. Deposit matches of 125%. And use our link to sign up. It helps out the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And we haven't... I'm going to knock on wood while I say this. We haven't lagged. So, I guess maybe I'll start using the stream key, Eric, because that's what I did differently. And it's been good. Like, what if I just lagged because I said the word lag? The lag's been driving me crazy.
Well, the true test, let's talk crap about Joe and Jody and see.
Screw you, Joe and Jody. Don't lag my internet. So next Thursday is the last stream before the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should bring on... Let's bring on Rich on Thursday if he wants to. Let's just make it like a fun 2.5-hour stream.
Oh, yeah, I might be late for it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. But don't do this to Rich again. If you're gonna say it, you need to bring him on.
If I say maybe, then that, yeah. I will reach out to him. But there was one instance where I said like maybe, and then like something happened. I don't know. Didn't bring him on, but I said maybe, and got confused. So that was my bad. But chat, we want Rich on the next postgame show. If I see 3 yeses and we get the stream to 50 likes, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to use Rich for likes. That's mean. Rich says I can list them. You can list what, Rich? Alex says we want Rich.
Yeah, I have I have my son's basketball practice, and then I have my game is at 8:45, but that's starting after their bedtimes on a school night. And my mom's going to the game, so she can't watch them or put them to bed. And my wife works Thursday night, so I have to decide whether to skip my game and take them home and be responsible, or have them stay up super late and get to play in my game, which I am going to miss several games because most of my son's games are on Thursday night, so I can't play in my games in that situation. So
what are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards playing because I really don't want to let my team down, and my kids they've been grumpy on Friday mornings anyway, so like, what does it matter?
It's a Thursday.
They have a 3-day weekend. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
But yeah, I won't be home till like.
We'll stream long enough where you can hop on the stream too.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
get
Well,
home.
I mean, like we
Maybe.
didn't start till close to the time I'd be home tonight, so.
Oh yeah, we'd start at 9:30. Well, I think we'd start at 8:30. That's true. I'll start it faster because I already have the thumbnail built. Cool. We're gonna do Rich on Thursday, as long as Rich wants to. Anyway. Or unless Rich makes me mad. No, I'm just kidding. Anything else, Eric, for this postgame?
Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate you all. Hope to see you all on Thursday before the All-Star break. And hope you have a good couple days.
Yep, sounds good. Anyway, appreciate BetUS for sponsoring this post-game show. Thank you to them. Promo code JOIN125. Link in description. We're going to be back on Thursday. 2 streams on Thursday. Sucks that we only got 3 games for picks against the spread, but oh well. Just big hiatus here because then we got the All-Star break. kind of ridiculous. Maybe we pick All-Star contest winners. I don't know. Probably just pick games. That's too complicated. But we'll be back on Thursday with content and then All-Star break. Honestly, probably just going to have a stream on Monday and that's it. I might make a video or 2, but man, I'm burnt out, to be quite honest with you. So I kind of need this All-Star break. Been looking forward to it. And then we'll hit the ground running on February 23rd as the Blazers take on the Denver Nuggets. And then, it's just a stretch run towards the end of the season. Or the stretch run until we start tanking. And then it's tank season again. Anyway, Rich is dropping a new Rip City Retro, so go check that out. You can click on his profile picture in the live chat to go check that out. He dropped a great video on Joe Cronin, which was pretty funny. I always love watching him react. Makes me feel very validated. And shout out to Rich, man. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll catch you guys again on Thursday. Looking forward to that. And until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.